My name is Dr. P.C. Patel, Professor and Chief Soil Health Specialist, College of Agriculture, Varud University, and Mati Agromart Private Limited, Anand, Gujarat. Today, the topic is perennial forage sorghum, a potential source to boost fodder production. So here you can see that it is a fodder sorghum going to 31. So advantages of sorghum as fodder compared to other fodder crops. Sorghum has exhaustive root system, which includes advantageous and extensive fibrous roots, which can draw nutrient and moisture at a much faster pace from the soil. So it is an exhaustive crop, and it takes more uptake of the nutrient from the soil. Some genotypes have sweet, juicy stalk and can accumulate sugar up to Brix value 24 and very much released by ruminant. Among cultivated annual crops, sorghum has the highest dry matter accumulation rates except Napier grass. It is a seapole plant highly efficient in biomass production. It has the ability to provide good dry matter productivity even in semi-arid tropic region. Being an annual crop, it fits well in the cropping system and can be grazed, cut, pressed, made into hay or ensiled. Its quick growing habit, high forage ability, high dry matter content, leafiness, wider adaptability, and drought tolerant really make it an ideal forage crops. So, fodder sorghum crop can be grown in variety of the soil type. It can be grown in sandy soil, sandy loam type soil, black soil, or even in saline soil, we can grow the sorghum crop. Then use of perennial sorghum. You know that at present the cost of cultivation of the crops is increasing due to labor wages, fertilizer cost, seed cost. So in perennial, once we planting the crop, then it remains for 2 to 3 years. And every time we have not grown the crops, so we are getting more remuneration from perennial crops as compared to the single crop grown in a seasonal crop or annual crop. Considering this identification of highly annual or perennial multi-cut forage sorghum genotypes with high tillering and good regeneration potential is a great demand among dairy farmers. Various wild relatives are of perennial in nature, especially Sudan grass genotypes. They have this trait which make them better suited for multi-cut type. That is sweet Sudan grass 59-3. It is a popular variety evolved by the Haryana Agriculture University, Hisar. One more reason for high demand of sorghum fodder all over the country is its high in vitro diameter digestibility and better silage-making property as compared to other fodder crops. Perennial sorghum production is preferred at marginal agricultural land to utilize unproductive and poor productive land for fodder production to fulfill our green fodder demand. You know that farmers take the crops, rice, wheat, cotton, they are grown in a fertile soil, and the marginal soil or the soil having a poor soil, they grow the sorghum crop. Such type of strategies should be adopted on a large scale to grow green fodder for growing livestock population. Adoption of such approaches can help production of additional nutrition on the available limited land. So perennial forage sorghum. So due to rapid urbanization and industrialization, pressure on agricultural land is increasing exponentially to fulfill growing population food demand. Crop production system is shifting towards use of multi-purpose crops for agricultural sustainability, which are having low water requirement and have high yield potential per unit of water. So sorghum crop is a drought-resistant crop. It requires lesser irrigation water as compared to the other crops. In agriculture-based economy like Indian livestock sector is also important, and we have to think about resource required for livestock population, availability of highly nutritious green and dry fodder of better quality and affordable cost is a critical issue for dairy farmers and small land holding farmers in India, and livestock sector sustainability. So quality fodder is very important for the higher milk production. Major limitation in achieving this is the non-availability of enough land under fodder cultivation. Then perennial fodder sorghum, a potential source to boost fodder production. So perennial fodder crops, especially perennial forage sorghum varieties, having multi-cut nature, can be a better option. In spite of so much varietal improvement in forage sorghum, there is acute shortage of green fodder in lean period of the year. Considering this, a breeding program specially focused on identification of high-yielding annual or perennial multi-cut forage sorghum genotypes with good regeneration potential are required. There is an urgent need of development of location-specific production technology to offer an excellent opportunity to provide nutritious forage for livestock. The introduction of perennial multi-cut will also reduce the cost of cultivation. So I told that once we are planting the perennial crops, then it remains for 2 to 3 years, and we can harvest 5-7 cuts in 2 to 3 years. Sorghum cultivation is distributed throughout the world, has grown in Asia, Africa, Australia, and America. It is a major crop of African country, and in Asia, it is grown in China, India, Korea, Pakistan, Thailand, and Yemen. India is the second largest producer of sorghum, followed by USA. FAO data indicate that India is the second largest producer of sorghum in the world, with an average production of 7.5 million metric tons of sorghum. Sorghum is a crop of semi-arid tropics with multi-purpose uses like food, feed, fodder, and fuel, and has several industrial applications also. Being a climate-smart, drought-tolerant, cold-tolerant, and salinity-tolerant crop, it has a good response to fertilizer also. It is zero-waste plant in the global ecosystem. So I told that sorghum crop can be grown in saline condition because it is salt-tolerant crop. Forage sorghum, bicolor genus of sorghum is used for food, feed, and fodder, but Sudanese is specifically used for fodder purpose. Sorghum Sudanese and sorghum Sudan grass hybrids are very versatile and have important use as forage. The main types of forage sorghum are Sudan grass, varieties Sudan into Sudan grass hybrids, grain sorghum into grain sorghum hybrids, and dual purpose varieties. Dual purpose variety means it can be grown for the grain purpose as well as for fodder purpose. So the quick growing nature, high green and dry fodder, leafiness, drought tolerance, and wide adaptability, and makes it an ideal fodder. So fodder sorghum fodder is in demand due to its good palatability concentration and its high digestibility. Various forage sorghum varieties, hybrids of single cut, dual purpose, and multi cut types mean perennial are available, which has great demand among farmers, particularly dairy farmers, and can be used as silage, hay, green job, and pasture also. So sorghum is an excellent fodder for cows. Based on crop duration, annual and perennial. So you know that Coimbatore forage sorghum 29 and Coimbatore forage sorghum 31 is a perennial variety. Perennial forage sorghum. So I told that COFS 29 fodder grass seeds, COFS 31 fodder grass seed. So here you can see the picture. So you can see that the size of the seed is very, very small, and 5 to 6 kg seed rate is sufficient for 1 hectare land. Whereas bold seeded of fodder sorghum, it requires 30-40 kg seed per hectare. So anti-quality factor. In anti-quality factor, prussic acid, hydrocyanic acid poisoning. So most sorghum contain varying amount of cyanogenic glucoside, which depend on variety, growth stage, and environment condition. When early stock cyanogenic glucoside are converted to prussic hydrocyanic acid in the rumen may cause fatal poisoning of cattle and discourages farmers from using the forage while it is still young and digestible. If sorghum is cut for hay and sun-dried, the hydrocyanic acid is rapidly volatilized and can be fed to livestock. So suppose you can cut the sorghum for hay and then you can sun-dry it, then the hydrocyanic acid has been volatilized and it can be fed safely to the livestock. In conditions are unfavorable, plant can be analyzed at certified lab if hydrocyanic acid is greater than 500 ppm diameter basis, then the plant should not be grazed or fed. Otherwise, if you fed such type of forage sorghum, then there will be death of the animal also. As stated by Gibson, 1995, the sulfur deficiency is increased when the forage has high prussic acid level. So when there is deficiency of the sulfur, then there is an increase of the prussic acid and hydrocyanic acid. This is because of sulfur is utilized in detoxification reaction within animal body. Animals have this ability to break down prussic acid as long as there is enough reserve of sulfur in their body tissue. However, if depleted, sulfur deficiency causes a reduction in appetite, which in turn led to a decline in average daily weight grain or milk production. So we have conducted trial at Anand Agriculture University when I was serving at the main forest station Anand. So our field trial results indicate that application of phosphorus 40 kg and sulfur 20 kg per hectare level remarkably reduced the cyanide content hydrocyanic acid in leaf 11 to 33% and shoot 12 to 156% of forest sorghum. So I have given this in an effect of phosphorus and sorghum variety SHG 59-3. It is a multi-cut variety at 13 days growth. So you can see here control plot P0 S0. Here P40, so we are getting the response of the phosphorus. So on the basis of the 3 years trials in monsoon season and summer season, we have made the recommendation to the farmer. The results indicated that for growing forage sorghum variety SHG 59-3 in monsoon season, in soil having medium availability of phosphorus and deficient level of sulfur, farmers are advised to apply 40 kg phosphorus in form of 87 kg DAP and 20 kg sulfur in form of 133 kg gypsum per hectare every year to obtain maximum forage yield, total return, net increment cost benefit ratio and better quality, full protein and digestible diameter production of forage. The lowest NDF neutral detergent fiber content was found with 40 kg P to SHG 59-3. Means the fiber content is decreasing by application of the phosphorus and sulfur. So the digestibility has been increased. So our recommendation is P40 and S20. So you can see the 30 days of the growth as compared to control P0 and S0. So by carried out the 3 years research, we got the Professor J.P. Trivedi Award sponsored by Hariom Ashram Ayojit for the year 2003. Soil Science, Nutrient Management in Forage Sorghum, Response of Phosphorus and Sulfur to Forage Sorghum. Myself, Dr. P.C. Patel and Professor A.V. Koteja, Main Forage Station, Gujarat Agriculture University, Anand, Gujarat, India. Then nitrate poisoning. Sorghum can accumulate nitrates during any weather condition that interferes with normal plant growth. However, drought is the most common cause. Therefore, we are suggest to that please do not give excessive dose of nitrogen for a sorghum, but apply only recommended dose of fertilizer or as per soil test value. Otherwise, there will be problem of the nitrate poisoning in animal. Then references Rudra Gowda and its cover 2020 from Sivamoga, Karnataka reported that Forage Sorghum variety COFS31 produced higher stem height, leaf width, and green fodder yield 89.6 ton per hectare and lower stem girth over Napier hybrid Bradra. So you can see that the specification of that variety that it gives higher green fodder yield as compared to Napier Bajra, which is the higher by 99.9%. The higher fallibility percent was recorded in COFS 31, 90.4% over Napier hybrid Bajra, 81.8%, with tune of 11.5%. The income before and after adoption of this technology were rupees 17,794 per hectare and 23,215 respectively. So characters of COFS 31, high yielding and quick growing, drought resistant, perennial with multi-cut grain fodder, high palatability, and thin stem. PATEL and co-worker 2020 from Karnataka concluded that COFS 31 multi-cut forage sorghum variety is superior, better, and more profitable to farming community compared to COFS 29 and SSV 74, International Journal of Chemical Studies 2020. Manjuntha and his co-worker 2014 concluded a field trial, conducted a field trial at University of Agriculture Science, Dharwad during Kharif, Rabi, and summer season of 2010 and 11 under irrigated conditions. The row spacing of 45 and 60 cm recorded significantly higher green fodder yield and total diameter yield, respectively, compared to 30 cm row spacing. So 45 cm and 60 cm is better as compared to narrow spacing 30 cm. So application of 30 kg nitrogen per hectare recorded significantly higher green fodder yield, 179.63 ton per hectare, and dry matter 42.33 ton per hectare compared to lower nitrogen level. So I told that sorghum crop highly responsive to nitrogen fertilizer. So here we get the response up to 300 kg per hectare. Harvesting for green forage was done when the crop attained 50% flowering, because at that time the hydrocyanic acid, prussic acid is lower. But in earlier stage, the hydrocyanic acid or prussic acid is greater and it is toxic to the animal. Then first cutting was made 90 days after sowing, and subsequent cutting were made at an interval of 60 days. So they have conducted a trial and first cut has been taken at 90 days after sowing and subsequent cut at the interval of 60 days. The plant were cut at 5 cm above the ground level. So clipping height is very, very important. When you take the multi-cut, then you should be cut near the ground level. We'll keep only 5 cm. So that 5 cm has been fixed by conducting the different trials. So totally 5 cuts were taken from June 2010 to May 2011. So within 1 year, they have taken 5 cuts. And you can see the green fodder 180 ton per hectare and dry matter 42 ton per hectare. So it is a good variety. So Fodder sorghum CO31. That variety was evolved by the Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, Coimbatore, and it is a good variety. So package of practices of COFS 29 or COFS 31. So preparation of land, then application of F5. So you can have to apply 12.5 ton per hectare. Then compost on the unplowed field along with 10 packet of azospirillum inoculant, 2000 gram means 2 kg, and 10 packets of phosphobacteria PSB 2 kg. Forming ridges and furrows, form ridges and furrows of 6 meter length and 60 centimeter apart, and plant on either side of the ridge. Then seed rate, I told that the size is very small. So 5 to 6 kg seed rate is sufficient for planting the 1 hectare land, either COFS 29 or COFS 31. And seeds were mixed with the fine sand or compost and sowed with spacing of 45 centimeter from row to row and 10 centimeter between the seeds. So in earlier slide, we have seen that 30 centimeter is not advantageous. So they have recommended 45 centimeter between two lines. The cost of 1 kg seed of COFS 29 or COFS 31 is rupees 400 per kg at present. Stock of seed of COFS 31 is 1000 kg and no stock of COFS 29. So both are high-yielding varieties. COFS 29 seed has 1 month seed dormancy. The seed availability at Central Cattle Breeding Farm, Dham Road, via Athuran, District Surat, Gujarat, India. The contact person name Nitin Bhai is my friend. He is working at Dham Road Farm, Central Cattle Breeding Farm, Dham Road. So his mobile number and myself, Dr. P.C. Patel, and my mobile number. And my email also patelpc12@gmail.com. Spacing, so narrow spacing, when the soil is fertile, then you keep the narrow spacing. But generally, it can be sown at 45 centimeter apart, as we have seen in the experiment. Then seed rate, then water management. Irrigate immediately after sowing, live irrigation on 3rd day, and thereafter once in 10 days according to 8 days. May it depend upon the climatic condition and soil type. Suppose your soil is sandy or sandy loam type, then it requires more irrigation as compared to the black soil or clay soil or medium black soil. Then weed management. First head weeding on 20th day of sowing, and if necessary, second hand weeding between 35 to 40 days after sowing. Harvesting at 50% flowering for fodder. First cut is taken at after 2 months, 60 days after sowing, and subsequent cut can be taken at the interval of 50-60 days. Then comparison of COFS 29 and COFS 39, both are comparable. And you can see here the average green fodder yield. COFS 29 160 to 170 ton per hectare, whereas in COFS 31, it is 190, so slightly higher than the COFS 29. Then the height of the COFS 31 is slightly greater as compared to COFS 29. Here 220, 250, here 270, 290. Then IVDMD, in vitro diameter digestibility, is comparable 50%. Then crude fiber. Here crude fiber is slightly greater in COFS 29 as compared to CO 31. So the quality of the COFS 31 is better than COFS 29. Protein content is also greater in COFS 31. Here you can see 8.41, in COFS 31, 9.86. So a new sorghum hybrid developed using ICRISAT breeding material was recently given special recognition as the outstanding forage hybrid 2019 for revolutionizing forage sorghum production in India. So you can see here the height and the production and tillering habit. So that work has been carried out at Hyderabad ICRISAT. That you know that I told that sorghum is a very exhaustive crop, and they monitor the nutrient, and before sowing of the sorghum crop, we should have taken the representative soil sample and carried out the soil analysis. And as per the soil analysis, we should have to apply the manures and fertilizer in a sorghum crop. You know that I am working at Sevama Agri Clinic and Agri Laboratory, Bhavnagar, Gujarat, as a chief soil health specialist, and we carried out soil, water, and plant testing for nutrient as well as plant disease diagnosis bacteria, fungi, and nematodes from soil and plant samples. The website of the Sevam Agri Clinic and Agro Laboratory, Bhavnagar, is sevama.in. Then another firm is Mati Agro Mart Private Limited, Bhavnagar. The website is matiagromart.com. So please contact our helpline number +91 63 59 59 59 59. So it is our sneak peek into our Sevam Agri Clinic. So we have the machine having of 1 crore ICP, OES scientific instrument, and it is a latest instrument, and we can carry out the soil analysis of soil, water, and plant, and we get the better results. I am working last 1 year, and we have carried out the soil sample about 5,000, and we got the positive response from the farmers. The farmer told that when we carried out the soil analysis before sowing of the crop and applied nutrient as per our recommendation, then they are getting the 15, 30, 40% higher yield as compared to the farmer practices. You know that farmers are not carried out the soil analysis, and there they apply the nutrient or fertilizer in soil as per his wish or the advice of the fertilizer merchant. So you can see that I have narrated the forage sorghum, and you know that forage sorghum is a versatile crop, and it can be grown in any type of soil. And for dairy milk or the livestock, sorghum is a best crop. It can be grown in any type of soil. Even slight waterlogged condition also it can withstand for 2 to 3 days. So if you have liked my video, then don't forget the subscribe my channel. And if you have any problem related to forage crops, because I have served in forage crops from 1982 to 2006. So I have 25 years experience, and I have carried out the quality analysis like crude protein, dry matter, hydrocyanic acid, in vitro dry matter digestibility, oxalic acid, etc. So I have thorough knowledge due to long service at main forage research station, Anand Agriculture University, Anand, and